Yeah.
Was this one good?
Yeah.
I'm waiting to party, so sorry, I won't talk too long. We have quite a list of people to thank, and then each of us just wanted to share some words with all of you here. I guess we'll start with, we wanted to thank our grandparents, in particular.
Thank you, Grandma Peggy. She, thank you for all your love and guidance over the years. Grandma Peggy helped with paying for my dress today, which has very deep significance. The piece down here is a piece of my great grandma's embroidery work that she sewed with her own hands. So very thankful for grandma's support.
And on that note, Kira Smith, who created and sewed both of our outfits for tonight. I'd also like to thank my grandfather, who graciously paid for my wedding outfit. So our grandparents, we walk with the love of our grandparents. That's it, that not good. Not good. I love you. We wanted to thank all of our friends who contributed to the giveaway, the traditional giveaway that's going to happen after this, as a way of showing our thanks and our love to each and every one of you, and Kukum will speak to that. We wanted to thank Unchi Dolores Bighorn for her beautiful job as MC of our ceremony. Thank you so much. A round of applause. To Auntie Margaret, who created this beautiful piece of art that is hanging for all of you to see. We want to thank Kukum, Bofi Gabaway, and Gary Counselor for the ceremony this morning, for waking up at sunrise. At the crack of dawn, we were up, and they went with us to the water and smoked their pipes and prayed for us, and invited members of my family to pray as well. And it was a special moment for all of us involved. We'd like to thank Kaya, Winter, Ocean, Jordan, and Phoebe, and Matthew for all of the work on the tobacco ties. Phoebe and Matthew sat in my home and we tied 300 tobacco ties for all of you to offer prayers. And to our friends, as I said, for handing those out. We wanted to thank, oh my God, Raven and family, Raven and their family, for walking with us and helping us through so much. To many of my cousins and friends who were here yesterday and set up this gorgeous hall that we see now, all of the flowers. I just wanted to tell everyone that all of this was done by ourselves and our loved ones. We didn't hire decorators or anything like that. So thank you to all of you. We want to thank Grandpa Diggy for saying grace for us. To all those who prayed in our ceremony and sang in our ceremony. To Sheila for the moccasins, the beautiful moccasins we're wearing were made by dear Sheila Demra.
Wave, Sheila! Wave, Shishi!
We want to thank the bridal party, the bridesmaids, and the groomsmen. We want to thank Larissa, Keisha, and Zebes for your speeches. These next ones are a bit emotional. I want to thank my Auntie Rosa and her Uncle Jeremy for all of their work. My aunt, they drove here on Sunday all the way and have been baking and cooking and feeding and cleaning, and all the sweets we're eating tonight were single-handedly made by this one person. For our rehearsal dinner, To our mothers, we want to thank both of our moms. Thank you, Bobby Dunn. Without you, I wouldn't have shaped my life. My mom, Ella Bushman, who, I can't, when I say my piece later, I'll say more, but, and you know, my parents have really, through a lot of effort, raised me up to who I am. And without their encouragement and their love, I would have never moved to Thunder Bay and would never have met Shay. And so I'm grateful to them.
Woo woo!
Oh my God! Clifford, the glorious MC.
And I'm very thankful to him for putting up with me all these years. Clifford is a great support to me. One of my dearest best friends. He's been through a lot with me, and what have you ever done now? Okay. So I need to take a moment to thank my husband. None of today would have happened without him. Every thoughtful detail that you all have experienced today, the vision, the creativity, the countless hours of planning, came from this guy. I just nodded my head, shook my head, picked a few fights here and there, but we got through it.
We're feminists, there's all over.
Cheyenne dreamed this day into existence long before I could even picture it. While I like to joke that I did the bare minimum, there is actually a lot of truth to that. He carried so much of this with grace, patience, so much excitement, and I hope that everyone here can see just how much of his heart is woven into this celebration.
Oh yeah.
More importantly, I want to thank you for choosing me. Thank you for loving me completely, for believing in us, and for building a life that feels like home. Today is beautiful because of the decorations and the flowers, but it's unforgettable because I get to be here as your wife. To Tala, thank you. Thank you for raising the incredible man standing beside me. His kindness, humility, unwavering respect, joyful spirit, and fierce love for his family, his community, and the people he holds close are all reflections of the values that you have instilled in him. You raise someone who makes everyone around him feel seen, safe, and loved. There's no greater gift you could have given. There's no greater gift you could have given the world.
True that.
It is such an honor to become a part of this loud, wonderful, crazy family. I feel, and I promise to spend the rest of my life loving your son as deeply as he deserves. To my bridesmaids. That's what's going to make me cry. Thank you for walking beside us today and for standing with us through every step of this journey. To my girls, especially to those that I've known, some for over 18 years. Thank you for growing up with me, for loving me through every season of life, and for being the kind of friends who have become family. Thank you for your love, your support, your laughter, and for bringing so much calm and joy to this day. Really wouldn't have made it through without them. Having each of you by our side meant more than we can ever fully express. We are so lucky to be surrounded by such wonderful people, and we'll always remember the role that you played in making today so special. So anyone who knows me knows that I've never really been a jewelry person. Well, that's clearly changed. And that has especially changed the day that I met my husband. Since we've been together, just over a year, my little tiny ear collection has grown with every powwow he's gone to, every milestone, just for no reason at all. But these gifts have never really been about the jewelry. They're reminders of the love that lives in the little things. There's one final thing I'd like to share. You may have noticed as our bridal party walked in this earlier today that they were each carrying a single pink rose. As they walked down the aisle, they walked up and they placed the rose in a vase. Those roses were for my great-grandma, Rosie Joe. Although she could not be here in the way that I wished, I felt her with me every step of the way. She and my great-grandpa Dickie shared 69 years of marriage before she passed. Their love was rooted in commitment, laughter, resilience, forgiveness, faith, and choosing each other each and every single day. Growing up, I had the privilege, along with all of my family, of witnessing their love firsthand. It quietly shaped my understanding of what marriage could be. It taught me that true love isn't measured by grand gestures, but by showing up for one another through every season of life, hand in hand. So, as I stood here today becoming a wife, I carried her, Grandma Rosie's example with me. I hope that one day, many years from now, people will look at our marriage and see the same kind of enduring love that she and my great-grandpa have shared. So, Grandma Rosie, this one's for you. I miss you, I love you, and thank you for showing me what forever looks like. And on that note, I'm done.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I get emotional easily. Feels like I was sobbing through the whole ceremony, and she was like, "Calm down." But as I said, my mother is someone I really like so much. For a part of my life, I grew up with a single mom. And my auntie who came and baked all the cookies stepped up as a second parent. And even though my mom had raised her and she was more like a big sister, it really turned out into a mom. And as was mentioned earlier, I want to acknowledge and mention that my dad couldn't be here today. And so again, because of that, she stepped up in such a beautiful way. My mom and I have been through a lot in life. We've learned a lot, we've grown a lot. For most of my life, we lived in the same area, in the same house, and then suddenly I got up and moved to Thunderdale. And her, I think, top 3 concern was, but how are you going to find a wife? What do you mean? There's so many people here. The population is so small. And I'm like, what do you mean? But what I said to her was, and in supporting me to move, I said, I trust that I will find her. So I prayed and I continued community work, and in that, I found Shay. My wife. For those who may not know, it is a powwow love story, as Clifford said. Over a series of 3 powwows. At the first one, I was dancing, and Shay goes. At the second powwow, she brought me coffee and said, "We should hang out." By the third powwow, we're holding hands in a circle and we went on a date. So over 3 weekends, I would say we fell in love. And I knew on faith that she was the one. Like Stevie said, anyone else who knows me well would come to me and say, you know you're married, girl, right? Even her mom, Lisa, when Shay started talking, Stevie called her and said, oh, Chayans sing so much. She goes, is it Shay? So anyone who knows us knows we're made for each other. And it was on that first date that each of us had separately written a list of things we wanted to share with the other, and point by point, it matched completely. One point that was different in hers from mine was she said, I have this, I don't know why, but I have this feeling and desire that I want to take care of you. And as someone who takes care of many others, that meant a lot to me. So in that, we realized that we had been praying for each other all along. You know, I had prayed for her, she had prayed for me. Every time we look at each other, I'd say, how did we get here? She'd say, prayers. This part wasn't explained, but in Baha'i marriage, when we talk about the uniting of two families, part of this teaching is through asking consent from one's parents. And in so doing, it brings the two families together from the beginning. And so when we asked our parents for consent, we asked Bobby Donna, and she went, hell yeah!
Of course I give consent.
And when we visited with my mom and my dad, and I have to mention my one aunt Sohela, who couldn't be here because she's fully paralyzed, and my mom is her full-time caregiver. And so we were sitting in the same room as her, and when we asked for consent, my aunt, who cannot speak anymore, began to cry. And I knew from her reaction that this was truly meant to be. You know, my mom began to cry and say, I'm so happy Sean was not sounding like cliche. We found love, we found love, we found deeper faith and strength. We've grown a lot together. We've been through a lot together. A very interesting year of tests which strengthened us. One thing we always talk about is how when one is mining gold from the ground to purify gold, it has to go through intensity and heat and fire. And in that intensity and heat, it burns and it hurts and it's so unbearable, but in the end, pure gold comes out. So the only way I can, I guess, put it to words how I feel is sharing a poem. This is the last thing, and I'll stop talking. Because I have to say that I didn't consider myself a poet until I met Shay. Every time I'd be overcome with strong feelings, I had to write it down. And I actually had those poems compiled into a booklet, which our sister Jade created, and we printed, and was gifted to her this morning. Yeah. And I thought I would just share one of the poems to capture how I feel and what Shay is to me. This poem is titled My Shield. She is my shield. She protects me from harm. When the tests came like a hurricane crashing against us, she weathered the storm, holding my hand all along the way. The waves were fierce, unimaginable. Even the mightiest ships are humbled by such storms. And yet she was there. I pulled the sails, she steered us on. Can you imagine? Her love held me so close as I healed from my wounds. Bleeding out, unable to catch my breath, she held me in her arms, never letting go. How would I have survived this without her? Even now, she shields me. Her love is mighty armor. I am protected. I am loved. Thank you.
هل بدنا نغسل؟
Ever long-winded that guy. Roxanne Yeller. I had a pair of sunglasses turned in. I'm not sure who they belong to, but it would be somebody quite young, I think. Oh, Tara. Tara? Okay.
Tara.
Thank you.
Here's your prize!